Hi, I'm Stephanie Catalano, licensed clinical social worker and personal development author. Welcome to Mindful Makeover, a podcast for women who want to learn how to live mindfully, become deliberate thinkers, and align with their true essence and most authentic self. The fact that you're here with me not only tells me you're ready to begin reaching your highest potential, but also sends a powerful message to the universe. I've had an opportunity to work with hundreds of women to help them tap into their inner power and create the life they desire, and nothing makes me feel more alive than to be a witness to a person's individualized transformation and growth. If you're ready to achieve your mindful makeover and create the life you desire, then let's get started. Each episode will leave you feeling educated, empowered, and elevated. Hi everyone, welcome back to this week's episode. I'm feeling super inspired and so grateful, and I hope you are too. This past weekend was pretty amazing. I was a part of the Body and Mind Holistic Festival at Kali Square in Miami. I never heard of this festival or Kali Square, and can I just say, wow, what a hidden gem this space was. It was this little hidden magical place, and the festival was so incredible. It was different conscious leaders all there promoting their brand and the beautiful work they are doing in the world. I always find it so cool when the community comes together like this, and I am especially thankful for the opportunity to be a part of festivals like this where I'm there sharing about myself, mindful living, which is my private practice, my brand, and Mindful Makeover, my most recent 30-day workbook and guide. And the reason for that is it really allows me the space to meet so many new people and connect with so many new people. So shout out to all the new peeps I met. And to all of you, if you're listening to this podcast, I want you to know that I love you and I appreciate you. It truly is each of you that keeps me inspired, so thank you. And for today's episode, I feel so led to talk about this simple yet mind-blowing perspective that I heard this past weekend when I was listening to a podcast. It was the Influencer Podcast by Julie Solomon, and it was the episode with Marie Forleo talking about her new book, Everything is Figure Outable. For those of you who don't know, Marie Forleo is a life coach, motivational speaker. She is the founder of International B School and host of Marie TV. And on this episode, she was talking about her new book and sharing what inspired her to write it, as well as some of the content within it. And she said something that completely stopped me and made me think. I was actually walking on the treadmill in the gym when this happened, and it's shocking that I didn't trip over my own shoes and fall off the treadmill, because it was such a simple thing, but it was so powerful, and it really, really slowed me down for a moment and had my mind going in a good way. So I want to take all of that and share it with you guys. She talked about the difference between the 4-letter words can't and won't. She said I can't is really a euphemism for I won't. A euphemism, if you don't know, is an indirect word or expression substituted for one that may be considered to be too harsh or too blunt when referring to something unpleasant or embarrassing. I had never heard it put this way before, but I couldn't agree more. This hit home for me and really made me look inside and have an honest conversation with myself about I can't versus I won't. I never paid too much attention to the difference between these 4 words, but who knew they were so powerful? I'm sure we can all agree that we are quick to say I can't. We say this when it comes to exercising, eating healthier, meditating, when it comes to saying yes to plans with a person who maybe we don't want to see, or a person who might rub us the wrong way sometimes. We say this when it comes to going to bed earlier or waking up earlier. And the truth is, I can't is an easy way out. There is always a way to make something happen within our control, such as exercise, meditating, cleaning, laundry, reconnecting with someone, letting go, forgiving, elevating our emotions, making time for self-care, getting a new job or getting a job, ending an unhealthy relationship, and the list goes on. It is an absolute game changer when you start to pay attention to all the times you say I can't and replace I can't with I won't. Because I can't means you don't have the ability, the resources, or the time, and most often this actually isn't the case. On the other hand, I won't says I'm not willing, it's too much work, I don't want to take that risk, I don't feel like dealing with him or her, I don't want to have my feelings surface, I don't want to feel my feelings. I don't want to hear what they have to say. I'm afraid of what might surface. I'm too good to make minimum wage, or I'm too good to work a 9 to 5, or I'm too good to have a boss, or it's not important to me. And the list again goes on. And it is a completely different ballgame, my friends, when you say I can't, because I can't requires nothing from you or from me other than staying in the same situations, feeling the same, not evolving, not growing, and not overcoming. And I can't will keep you limited and stuck. I won't actually, though, forces you and me to be honest, to be vulnerable. And the kicker, the good word that most of us don't want to hear, it forces us to take accountability, right, for our life. This includes how you feel, even when it comes to the feelings such as anger or having maybe unresolved resentment or still blaming people, places, and things for your current circumstances. Whatever your story is, it's up to you to accept what is, then to take action to change, to evolve, to heal, to grow, to overcome, to move on. This is so huge. Literally can't get over this. The simple thing, I can't versus I won't. And if you begin to change your language from I can't to I won't, trust me, you will eventually become willing, because to hear yourself say I won't, especially out loud, eventually won't feel good to you or be acceptable to you. Since this weekend, I've been paying close attention to my own language and correcting myself when I automatically say I can't. I've always known that saying I can is actually a big fat lie. But so often, all of us, we reply to people, to life automatically without even really thinking about what we're replying to. We're just so quick to automatically say, I can't do this. And we're not even actually really thinking about what is it that you're saying you can't do, right? And something happens. There is a shift when you start to closely pay attention to how you're showing up in every single moment. And I'll give you a quick small example, that something that I reflected back on. So last week I was in the gym with my trainer and I was doing pull-ups, and I did the first set and I got 15 pull-ups with the resistance band helping me. So not all the way there on my own, but the point is I did it. I felt really strong. And then my fiance said, oh, I want to take a video of you doing it so you could see how great you look and the progress you've made. So I went to do the second set and I was about 8 in and I literally was like, I can't do anymore. I'm done. And I stopped. And now, okay, fast forward, here we are over the weekend. So it was like 3 days later and I'm listening to this podcast about I can't versus I want, and I won't, excuse me. And I went back to that example of being in the gym and I said, okay, I won't do any more I won't do any more pull-ups versus I can't. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's unreal to hear out loud, because the reality is, yes, I could have done more pull-ups. I just didn't want to. I was tired. So that's a small example, but I share it with you just to show you that there always is a way and you actually can. Sometimes you just don't want to, and that's okay. Maybe you're not in the space for it, or maybe it's just not important to you, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I do think it's really important to get clear on the difference of I can't, which is to mean like you literally can't, you don't have the resources or the ability, versus I just don't want to, right? So another few examples that I want to share with you just to help create a visual of this difference are I can't work out today versus I won't work out today. I can't change my eating habits, or I won't change my eating habits. I can't work for someone else, or I won't work for someone else. I can't improve my sleep patterns, or I won't improve my sleep patterns. I can't leave this unhealthy relationship, or I won't leave this unhealthy relationship. I can't speak my truth, or I won't speak my truth. I can't forgive him or her, or I won't forgive him or her. Stop for a moment and let that sink in. Begin to pay attention to where you're saying I can't and replace it with I won't. But don't just stop there. I encourage and empower you to go deeper. What is it that's keeping you from owning every area of your life? What is hidden behind the words I can't? Is it fear? Is it laziness? Is it ego? Is it lack of motivation? Is it pain? Is it hurt? Is it unresolved trauma? Is it grief? Is it embarrassment? Is it shame? Is it guilt? What is it? Only you have access to go underneath, deep within. Nobody can get there without your own willingness to go there on your own. And no matter what, when it comes to exercising or talking about and healing trauma or taking a leap of faith into a new job, whatever it is, only you can make it happen. The answers are within you, and it will require your undivided attention and willingness, but it's all possible. Whatever you desire is possible. It's crazy how committed we all are, or once were committed, to the things that don't serve us or support us. Whether it's unhealthy eating habits, poor sleep routines, staying in the job that we dread, not making time for self-care, staying in unhealthy relationships, being committed to negative self-talk, being committed to believing the thoughts that say you're not good enough. Whatever it is, by staying in behaviors, cycles, patterns, beliefs that don't support you, that actually shows you're committed to all of it. Perhaps unconsciously, but the point is, it's time to become aware of what you're unconsciously committed to, then become consciously committed to what will serve and support your highest and best self. Saying you can't and believing you can't and not moving forward in your life in all areas is a choice. And willingness seems to be a word that comes up a lot for me when I share, but the truth is, willingness is everything. So, are you willing to try? Are you willing to take risks? Are you willing to look like a fool when it comes to starting the things that set your soul on fire? Are you willing to feel even the unpleasant feelings? Are you willing to have the hard conversations with loved ones so that your authentic self can be heard? Are you willing to forgive so that you can be set free, or perhaps reunite with a loved one? Are you willing to rise above your own ego? Are you willing to start over or to start? Are you willing to put forth the work? Are you willing to be consistent? Are you willing to call yourself out on your own BS? Are you willing to surrender and let go of trying to control everything? These are really powerful questions. If any of them hit home for you or resonated with you in any way, I highly recommend you spend some time looking in. The first step is awareness. Once you know, and then it's on you to do the work, and you can't do the work without willingness. People go their entire lives being aware of a lot of areas that need to be changed or improved, and they never do anything with what they know, and therefore everything stays the same, right? I almost say this in every episode because it's so true. If nothing changes, nothing changes. And though awareness is a super important part, it's the first step to everything. You can be all aware, have all the awareness in the world, but if you don't do anything with what you know, it doesn't matter, right? Because all you're doing is you just know. And it's one thing to know, and it's a whole other thing to actually do. So as I wrap this episode up, first off, major shout out to Marie Forleo for her insight, inspiration, and wisdom. And to all of you listening, I want to remind you how powerful you are. Never forget what you're capable of achieving. If you want it, you can have it. The question will always be, how bad do you want it? And to what level are you willing to go? And I want you to really think about, by saying I can't, what is that holding you back from, right? Like, how much are you missing out on because you're just quick to say I can't? And don't let time continue to slip by. It's the one thing you can never get back. And every moment is truly an opportunity to change. You have more control than you think, but it's essential that you become aware. It's essential that you become willing, that you begin to take full accountability and ownership for your life. It's time to wake up. It's time to look in. And I want to leave you with this question. How are you holding yourself back? And what can you begin doing right now to take a step forward in your life? Here's to affirming, I can and I will. Thank you for joining me today. If you found today's episode to be insightful and inspiring, subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one. And I kindly ask that you please leave me a review so together we can help the next person. If interested in scheduling, coaching, counseling, public speaking, or workshops, check out www.themindfulliving.com and come connect with me on Instagram at mindfulliving.now, where I share daily inspiration, mindful skills, tips, and more. Mindful Makeover 30-day workbook and guide for women is available on Amazon, or you can find the link on my website and in my Instagram bio. Until the next episode, stay mindful and always remember the power that lives inside of you.